We begin this morning with a Fox News alert. All eyes on the G7 summit this morning as President Trump just moments ago joined a working session with fellow world leaders as the commander-in-chief now prepares to turn his attention to a high-stakes meeting with Egypt's president later this morning.
The sit-down coming at a pivotal moment for the Middle East as the U.S. pushes forward with its new peace agreement with Iran, while revealing new details about the path ahead.
The president now saying he believes a final deal can be reached within the next 60 days. You're watching Fox and Friends First here on a Wednesday morning. I'm Todd Pyro.
And I'm Carly Shimkus. Let's go right to Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yanks, who is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The signing ceremony for the deal between the United States and Iran is just 48 hours away, and the details of this memorandum of understanding are starting to leak. Axios reports that within the agreement there is an agreed upon ceasefire across all fronts, including Lebanon. This also would include Iran reaffirming it will never have a nuclear weapon, and nuclear activities would be frozen during the talks. The U.S. will pause new sanctions on the Iranian regime and lift the U.S. naval blockade. Iran will guarantee safe passage for vessels going through the Strait of Hormuz for the next 60 days. And the U.S., over a tiered system, will release some frozen assets and allow temporary Iranian oil exports. Now, talks aimed at a broader peace deal will take place, and some sanctions relief will be ongoing. There are reports of a $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran, likely coming from money in Gulf countries. And the Iranians and the Omanis would work with Gulf states to negotiate new Hormuz shipping lane security frameworks. Now, the Vice President, J.D. Vance, was on the 5 last night and said this about why the public hasn't seen the document yet.
Why can't you or won't you release that document now?
Yeah, so there's some diplomatic procedure at work here where the Qataris and the Pakistanis have been mediating this entire negotiation with the Iranians, and they've asked us effectively to sequence the way that we roll this out. I frankly don't understand it. We'd be happy to release the agreement today or tomorrow. We may release it as late as Friday.
The largest X factor here is Iran's nuclear program. Over the next 60 days, the details of the program are set to be discussed. But in the past, the Iranians have been unwilling to make serious concessions. Now, President Trump said Tuesday the U.S. will go into Iran, get the highly enriched uranium, and destroy it. It's not clear if Iran has agreed to this point.
Iran will be just fine. What's happening is that at an appropriate time, there's no rush at all. We have cameras from space on it. We know everybody that goes there, which is like nobody. The B-2 bombers hit it. The entire mountain collapsed inside it. It's a very tough excavation. Nobody else can do it but us and probably China. They have the equipment, we have the equipment. We're in no rush, but we get it, and when we get it, we'll destroy it.
A lot of questions do remain about this memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran. One has to do with Lebanon. Just last night, the IRGC command issued a new warning that if Israel continues to strike Hezbollah in Lebanon, that there will be a response from the Iranians. There are also reports of drone attacks toward commercial shipping vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. And so a lot of moving parts here and real questions about if the agreement can hold. Again, just 48 hours away from the signing ceremony.
This agreement would require Israel to withdraw from Lebanon and stop fighting back against Hezbollah. So does making Hezbollah a major part of this agreement indicate how seriously they are still all in on funding their terror proxies? And this could be coming at a time when they're about to receive some economic benefit in signing this deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you enter into this new round of negotiations in a 60-day period, there are questions not just about Iran's nuclear program, but also about their support of regional proxies like the Houthis in Yemen and also Hezbollah in Lebanon, along with their expanding ballistic missile program. Despite the fact that many of the production lines were hit in U.S. and Israeli strikes during Operation Epic Fury, this is still a major concern for the region, not just U.S. ally Israel, but these Gulf countries that came under attack and also U.S. forces that were targeted by Iranian ballistic missiles. And so a lot on the table here still to be worked out. And it appears that U.S. officials have assurances from negotiators from Qatar and Pakistan about how this process will go. And we also know that technical details are being discussed today in Doha, Qatar, not only for the signing ceremony, but also the time frame to enter into these detailed discussions.
Trey, there's a point in this reported deal that is not really being talked about, but I think our audience, considering we have a lot of parents and service members that watch our program, United States would withdraw its forces from the region within 30 days. What does that mean? I mean, we've been in the Middle East as the region for decades, if not more. So how far does that quote unquote region extend? Are we talking about our massive naval presence there being sort of pared down and brought further away from the strait, or is there something else I'm missing here?
Here's what I understand about this line item within some of the agreement that was leaked to different media outlets overnight. According to these reports, U.S. forces would withdraw from the areas close to Iran 30 days after the final agreement is reached. And so we're still looking at a 90-day window for that. Now, if this takes place, it's not clear if the agreement is talking about just the forces that were deployed for Operation Epic Fury or all of the forces in the region. At this moment, according to our reporting, this would not include, for example, the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain or the U.S. forces that are normally stationed at the Al Udeid base in Qatar. But again, this is one of many questions that we have about the deal. And even once this framework is released, the memorandum of understanding, we still may not get those answers because, again, this is just the broader memorandum of understanding to enter into more detailed discussions. It is not the final deal between the United States and Iran.
Let's bring in former CIA station chief and Fox News contributor Dan Hoffman. Dan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So this deal reportedly gives Iran upfront sanctions relief for oil sales, but a senior U.S. official told the Wall Street Journal that sustained relief would be tied to Iran's performance on U.S. demands regarding issues like opening the Strait of Hormuz and a nuclear program. Based off of what you know about this deal so far, do you think it's a good idea?
Well, I think what we've got right now is not unconditional surrender. Remember, the president talked about that. I think what we have is an extension of the ceasefire and an opportunity to embark on negotiations for 60 days to get to a deal. But this isn't really a deal yet, even whatever is announced on Friday. And because we don't have the text of the deal that we expect to be seeing on Friday, there's been sort of a vacuum, I think, that has been filled with lots of speculation. I think one of the key things for us is, as the blockade is lifted and Iran is able to sell oil, how does Iran use the income? I don't expect it to be spent on hospitals and girls' schools. The intelligence community will be tracking the extent to which Iran seeks immediately to rearm and reconstitute their weapons of mass destruction. Also of concern, as you noted, is Hezbollah. When Hezbollah strikes Israel, that's designed to act as a spoiler and to create the opportunity for Iran to have a pretext to withdraw from any deal that is made or to have greater leverage to get a better deal. So there are certainly a lot of concerns going forward, and I'm sure the president is receiving daily briefings from our intelligence community to know exactly how this is being perceived, Iran's plans and intentions, the hardline IRGC regime inside Tehran.
When it comes to the money, the vice president is on somewhat of a PR tour to explain exactly what the money does and does not do and where the money comes from. Let's listen to him.
Not a single cent of American money goes to Iran. Not $300 billion, not $24 billion, not any of the money, the dollar figures that I've seen floating around. The agreement's actually very simple. It says, one, Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. Two, the Straits of Hormuz are open. And number three, there are all of these benefits contemplated that the Iranians can get if they behave, if they stop developing terrorism. If they don't do any of that stuff, they don't get anything.